Hi, this is Terry. I've lost 180 pounds with a combination of keto, carnivore, and counting calories. I started my journey in August of 2019 and reached my goal in November of 2022. Now that I've reached my goal, I'm focusing on my health, both physical and mental. Thank you for watching. Hey there, it is time for our veggie meal prep, and yeah, we got lots going on, so let's just get right into it right now. I'm gonna start off. I have this disposable cutting boards. I use this, but I don't like using it for my Rutabaga or my hikima because of that wax. Because once they're peeled, I don't want anything touching what they were on because they're just so gross. So with these disposable cutting boards, you just cut it whatever size you want. There's a rough side and a smooth side. I don't really know. In theory, probably the rough side's supposed to not slide around. That ain't how it works. They both slide around. But that's all right. We'll put smooth side up today. What we're doing is we got some hikima that we're going to cut up here in a minute. And so this hikima right here is kind of on its last leg. It could last probably about 2-3 more days. But in order to prevent it from getting too far gone, I'm going to take it, I'm going to dump it in my pickled veg container. Now, you can look at my pickled veg videos. I have, there's a couple of them in the description of every video. So, if you want to see what this is, this is all the vinegars and water mixed together. And I even did it one time where I measured it out, but I forgot to cook them. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to get these cleaned and I'll be right back. So these are mini seedless cucumbers. And I got these because they're small and I won't have to cut them into like in halves like whenever I buy the regular cucumber. Because what my plan is, I'm running low on cucumber portion of my pickled veg. I got plenty of other vegetables that I've tossed in here. I've got plenty of onions, and obviously I just dumped some jicama in there. But anyway, so now I'm going to take these and sorry, I missed something on that one. But now I'm just going to cut these up. Usually I cut the ends and I just get rid of the ends, but these are so different than the other cucumbers, so it's not as traumatizing as the other. These are the skin is thinner, I guess is what you'd say. They're just a different texture than the regular cucumbers. They still taste like cucumbers. So funny, my mama hates cucumbers. How many of y'all hate cucumbers? It's okay if you don't like cucumbers. I'll still love you. I love my mama, and she don't like cucumbers. So, anyway, maybe I will toss some of these. But yeah, so I'm going to cut these up, and but that is how I am refilling my pickled veg. Some of you all have asked me how long, or do I reuse the brine? Shoot, yeah, because I have something in there called Pickle Crisp, and I think it's some kind of something acid. But anyway, it helps prolong your pickles and whatnot. So, ooh, that's a yucky end. Hang on, let me cut that one off. I felt it's all soft. Anyway, so, yeah, I reuse my brine because I don't know. I think they did, and it's vinegar and water. I don't know how bad it could be. It might be real bad. Maybe I shouldn't be using it, but, you know, I'm going to anyway. Just like, you know what I'm also going to do? I set these ends aside. I'm going to put them in there anyway. We're just going to put them in. It'll be all right. Future eating day, Terri. Oh, except for that one end. Oh, found it. Yahoo. I was about to have a future Terri was going to have a bad day. I'm going to kind of feel around on these before I put them in. But, yeah, so I'm going to finish cutting these, and then we'll get on to the next thing. This is the only thing I'm adding to my pickled veg was the jicama and cucumbers. And so now, this next week, as I eat them, I will have more options other than just whatever I've been pulling out before. So I'll be back. Alright, so we are restocked on our pickled veg, and this week's Terri is going to be a happy girl. It's got all kinds of stuff down in there. Hikima, onions, a few little peppers, and anyway, so alright, I'm going to pop this in the refrigerator. Next up, I'm going to do my hikima. I remember one time I did it and it was real easy. I just cut it in half, and then I just took a knife and I just went around it. Did it like a potato. So I'm going to go through and peel it like a potato, and then I'll get back with y'all. But I'm going to go do it over the trash can. And if this video gets uploaded, just know I didn't bleed to death, okay? So just know that. If you see me, it's okay, guys. It's all okay. I'm telling y'all, I would not have been... I'd have been the first child sold off during the potato famines. I got my grandpa's family came. He says they're Scotch-Irish, or he said. He's no longer alive. But when I've done ancestry, like I'm like a definite hybrid. I've got English, I've got Scottish, I've got a whole lot of German. I'm just one big old mutt. But anyway, so I would have been the first child sold off during the potato famine. You should see me peeling these things. There's more skin than there is meat on this jicama. It's hilarious. I am going to just cut them up by hand this time. Oftentimes I use my chopper, but I think I'm getting a pretty good size. That's a pretty good size. Go Terri, go Terri. You're doing good, doing good. So jicama, just so you know, I've got it peeled, and it was easier to peel it like that, as well as jicama the taste is good, but like right now, after I've cut it up, my hands are very slick. So because jicama is so watery, you know, I say watery, it has its own juice inside of it. Whatever that juice is, it's not water, but it is a very wet vegetable. So with the jicama, after you're done cutting it, usually y'all see I wear gloves a lot of times, but after jicama, it's like I gotta wash my hands 4 or 5 times because to get all the jicama juice off my hands, because it really is thick. I get viscous, I think is the right term. Whatever the word is, by George, y'all know what I mean. They feel slimy. So, but there we go. All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna finish this stack and I'll be back. Okay, and I want to be clear. It's not sticky. It's not like a sticky vegetable. It's just a slick vegetable. So it's almost like I put oil on my hands. So yeah, it'd be like spraying your hands with olive oil. It's that kind of texture. So I don't want you to think that it's going to be a sticky texture. So I put a paper towel on the bottom, and I've got put these upside down. And these will be the ones that I use this week on my salads and taco salad and stuff like that. So I'll pop this in the fridge. Okay, so next up is the Rutabaga. And so you can see there's dark places on there. I don't know if that's mold or what it is, but I just want you to see what a jicama looks like up close. Now you see this dark and the light. It's similar to a turnip in coloring. Whenever I get one, this is the one that I always say it's easy to peel a jicama, or a rutabaga, but it is hard to cut it in half. But first off, when I get one, I cut off both sides of it because it gives me a good point for the there we go. I can't talk and think at the same time. It gives me a good starting point for peeling. So, got that end. And also, I do not use the same surface that I peel and set the rutabaga on to cut it up. Like, I don't want it on this because this wax, it just falls off just like a candle because it's wax. So let me cut this side. you lose your boob, Terry? Well, I cut my boob off whenever I was cutting. When I was cutting into a rutabaga. All right, so now that I've got both ends off, that's a tedious part. Then I take a slicer thingy, and like I always say, you want one that has this kind of teeth. You don't want one that's slick, because the skin is very stiff, and so you need something that's gonna really get in there and grate it off. So, but man, oh man, oh man, you all, most of you, if you're, oh, hang on, Lou's out there singing, just a minute. Well, let me just say this, most of you all know that rutabaga is literally my favorite vegetable. Hands down, my favorite. It's so versatile. It's a potato replacement for me, as well as it's a squash replacement. For those of you, so depending on how much you use, I did use this when I was keto, and I was able to stay under 20 carbs a day, even while eating this. However, I budgeted my macros for it because I liked it that much. So, but if you don't like it enough to make it fit your macros, oh my stars, then don't get it. Don't waste your time if it's not something that you feel like is worth your macros. We all have our own thing that's our own preferences, and so if this is not worth your macros, then don't bother. All right, he's back at it. I'll be back. Actually, I'm going to finish cutting this one and that one, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to show you the difference between a thick one and a thin one. This little bitty one, or I say this littler one, well, maybe I spoke too soon. My hands are wet. I'm afraid I'm going to slice something off. Nope. Well, if you don't have a cleaver, get you a cheap knife. And I need one that you're okay, because it is going to break, because I broke one before. But I have another one if this breaks. Then I'll use my cleaver on the other one. But I just want you to see. Get one, Dollar Tree, everything's $1, Walmart, somewhere like that. Get you a cheap knife. Not a good one, not a fancy one, but a cheap knife. This one has something black on it. So we are also going to, I don't know exactly where that spot begins. So now I'm going to kind of come down beside it. Okay. Well, it's not even a part of this one. It's just that little spot right there. So I'm going to kind of cut around that spot. Waste not, want not. See if I can come down right down the middle. Nope, it's still there. I'll just toss this whole little piece. Alright, so that, if you do not have a meat cleaver, again, get you the cheapest steak knife you can find. Don't get a fancy one, because, again, you are going to break it at some point. If not, get a meat cleaver. This was gifted to me by somebody, Guy Gloria. So you line it up and you take your hammer. Now I'm going to quit talking while I hammer, because it distorts the sound. Ooh, that is a rotten one. Whoa, look at that. That's rotten. That's the other half that's rotten. I hope I have I think I threw my receipt away. Shoot a monkey. Well, I'm going to set aside, I'll deal with it later. So, don't eat that, okay? Don't eat that. Even I'm not going to eat that. So, now I'm going to wash my cleaver and I'll be right back. Okay, so I did go to Walmart because I thought, you know what? I was in the middle of this and I knew I needed another one so that I could make my waffles and my salads. I couldn't make it with just one. So, yeah, I ran to Walmart exchange the other one. I've already peeled this one and cut in it. It looks great. So this is how it should look when you cut it in half. So anyway, so I got into that. While I was there, I went ahead and grabbed a couple peppers and a couple onions. So the onions that I did have, I've got some onions that I cut up last weekend. I'm going to go ahead and add those to my pickled veg. I'm just telling you so I keep you in the loop. But now, in the meantime, with the rutabaga, so I've already cut them in half. And now I'm going to take these pieces and I'm going to make them smaller. Rutabaga is very dense. I love rutabaga. Like I said, for me, I made it fit my macros when I was on my way down. But that's because I loved it and because I never thought I was going to be able to eat things that reminded me of a potato again. And no, I couldn't eat a whole bunch of it, but I was able to eat enough that it satisfied that potato urge. So now I've got this container here. This is a chopper, and I got this from Gloria. It was on the QVC, but they have some similar on the Amazon. So you just do this. Now I'm going to chop it up. Okay, so I'm going to do these the bigger chops. This is what I use on my salads. And so I do 70 I do 7, I'm going to make 7 salads this week because I have an extra day. And so I need 490 grams of rutabaga. So that way I can kind of divide it up. Well, that's 537. All right, so this is what is going to go with my salad. So I'm going to set this aside. And now I'm just going to do the rest of these. I like it to be about the texture of rice whenever it's for my VEGGIE cakes. If you need to see that video, you can do a search or message me and I will give you the link to that video. It's what I use on my breakfast every morning. But I start off with rutabaga. So anyway, I'm going to get this all chopped up fine and I'll be back. In the meantime, please know that I am being watched and monitored for anything that is inappropriate. I mean, I am being watched tightly. So there you go. Just know if I do anything totes inappropriate, he will be over here telling me about it. That's my sous chef over there. That is the texture for my VEGGIE cakes. See, it's about the size of rice. You can see it in my hands. That's the texture. So that's what I like, and I just wanted you to see it. And now I will get it transferred to here, and I will repeat this process until all of this is chopped up. Alright, so I've got a container and a container. This is everything we need to make my salad, so I'm going to get those containers out, and we'll get those going before we cut up our onions and peppers. So what I did, because you know I don't do math very well, each of these is 450 grams. So normally I do 6, but right now we're doing 7. So according to Alexa, it's 128 grams. So in each one of these, I'll do around 128. And some of them will be a little more, some will be a little less. So I'm going to divide these into these 7 containers. I need 7 this week because I'm not going out to eat with Mom on Sunday, which is tomorrow. I'm going to be hanging out with my goddaughter, so I'm going to need an extra salad tomorrow. So that's how things are going down. So let's see how this goes. It's going down for real. I need a place to hold it. I'm tired of this bag. All right. 137. Some lucky dog is going to be like, yum. So I done forgot. 120 something. And 140 something. 150. All right. That's good enough. So I'm not worried if it's down to the gram, okay? Because like 100 and some odd. Hang on, I'll explain it. Let me explain this to you. Y'all know I'm doing calories. So it takes 85 grams to make 20 calories. So 85 divided by 20.
85 divided by 20 is 4.25.
So it's like 4 grams is a calorie. So I'm not sweating that. Just so you know, that's my logic and how I got to where I am. So now what we're going to do though, it's time for our rutabaga. And I need a big spoon. And so what I'll do is I'll zero it out since they are kind of off. I planned for about, this time I planned for about 70 of the rutabaga. I did the math. So 75. So I got to zero it out. So my base of all my salads is this. Just cabbage and rutabaga. Again, if rutabaga is not good with your macros, for heaven's sakes, don't use it. Don't feel like you got to do something that I do just because I do it. Please, 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 please. We are all different. We all have different needs. So don't do something just because something worked for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So please always remember that. So, all right, I've got 3 more and then I'll be back. Now at this stage, I'm done. I'm done with them. So I take a paper towel and I fold it just a little bit to make a square. And we are just going to tuck our little salads in. And what this does, it helps wick away the moisture that makes vegetables go bad fast. So my comment section, you all taught me that. So definitely always take a peek in the comment section of my cooking videos, or I mean you can check the comment section of any videos, but there's a lot of wisdom down in my comment section. I am not a kitchen person. I am learning as I go, and you guys are teaching me so much because I was not a kid that hung out with my mama in the kitchen. So but anyway, so and then you store them upside down. So then that way all the moisture leaks down to the paper towel. So I'm going to finish these last 4 and we'll be ready to go to the next vegetable. Alright, so I got the salads done. So I'm going to go ahead and put, we're going to put our rutabaga to bed. And we do the same thing we do with our salads. Put a paper towel on it, flip it upside down. And this is my Vega cake rutabaga. So later on, I will work on making some Vega cake with that. My phone's about to die, y'all. I've done so much recording today. So since I went to Walmart and picked up the onions, I am going to go ahead. This is the onion that I cut up last week. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down in my pickled veg. I want to make sure that it, you know, that I try to put it in my pickled veg before something goes bad, and then that way it saves me from something going bad. So I'm just going to dump them right in there, and yeah. I've been doing that every week. I don't know if I've told y'all, but you know, every week I cut up a red and yellow onion, except last week I didn't have a red. But anyway, when at the end of the week, when I cut up the new one, I've just been adding the old one to my pickled veg and just let it keep on building up, however it builds up. All right, but these I'm going to cut up so I can have fresh. So I'll put this back away, and then we'll cut up those next. You know, I tell y'all all the time that you teach me so much. You know, I learned about this disposable cutting board. One of y'all, I'm telling you, you all keep the comments, keep the educational things coming. Sometimes it doesn't register, it doesn't click until after, I don't know, till after I try it. You know what I mean? So here's how I do my peppers. So just I push in at the base of the green stem. But you all just keep those, your tips and tricks and inspirations coming, because you guys have been so important for me in my journey. Just all the tips and tricks that you guys share. So once I have this fully dislodged, see, it's not even connected at all. Once it's fully dislodged, I just take my fingers and I I have to do it very slow because the seeds might fly out of there. So I just kind of pull gently, very gently. And then, see, this side has no seeds. It's been my experience that the majority of the seeds are attached to the stem. So now let me tap this and I'll show you. But I want to do this on camera so you see it. There's the seeds. Of course, I'm putting them on my cutting board, which is dumb, but now there's no seeds. So it's been my experience that majority of the time my peppers come out like this. So this is how I do my peppers. Let's do this other one. It's a littler stem. It's a little baby stem. It's like a skinny, narrow one. But you just gotta push in and you just want to separate it. Separate the stem and see, look, you can fully rotate it. It's disconnected in there. And then gently pry it apart, slow and easy. Slow and easy. Now, I'll pull this stem out and let me tap this. I'll show you. Hang on. There's just a couple seeds because it's wet. Now, this other one, I want you to see this. The other one has some seeds along down in there. Those are going to come out when I tap it. But up here, see that the stem also attaches to the veins. So these are attached to the vein also. So hang on, watch. All right. See, this is where the seed comes from. They attach to the stem, which attaches to the vein. And when you pull that off, all your seeds are gone. Just got this little one in there, but again, that's because it's wet. And now it's gone. So now I'm going to clean this off and get rid of the seeds and wash these off, and I'll be back and we'll cut up the peppers. Now from here, you can just cut them however you want. If you want them in long strips for fajitas, if you want them to be like, you want them in chunks, like you want them because you're going to, I don't know, pickle them, or if you want them however you want them to be, this is a stage where you cut them whatever, shape you want them to be. So I'm just going to go through, and I want mine kind of chunky. I like them chunky. I like them chunky. I like them thick. I like them chunky. That was in that Hello Moto. What's that movie? Madagascar. He sang that song, and I'm like, oh, my stars, he's singing about me. I like them thick. Because I like a thick, chunky man, too. I'm with you, Moto. I'm with you, Moto. I like a thick fella. Was it that saying? Nobody wants a bone but a dog. Terri. I'm getting a little risque, y'all. Getting a little bit risque. Anyway, all right, I'm going to cut up this last one. This may not fit in this container. I might have to get a bigger one. We'll see. All right, so here we go. All righty. Man, it's funny. Both my ex-husbands were fluffy fellas. There's just something about it. I like a fluffy fella. I like a fluffy fella. One of my friends said, well, now that you've lost weight, maybe your eyes will look at a different type of person. I'm like, I don't know. There's just something about a dad bod and a belly. I like a man who's got some girth on him. Ha ha. Kind of like Santa Claus. All right, now enough of that business. Let's cut our onions. Because ain't nobody got time for no man. Because if I got a man, then I wouldn't be able to hang out with you all day. I'd be like having to hang out with them and ugh. Who wants to hang out with a fella all day? That ain't no fun. I'd rather hang out with you all. All right. Yeah. Let me toss the skins. I'll be right back. Ooh, the burn is starting, baby. The burn is starting. All right. So like usual, I'm going to cut a base for it so it can stand up. And now with this one, I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to cut it. I want it to be not quite as big of chunks as I did last time. It was good, but they were just too big. So now, and I think I thought so. This looked a little bit, this is that outer thin layer. Nobody want to eat that piece. Yuck. I don't know why I thought I was going to leave that behind. Yucky pooey. Yucky pooey. Alright, so now we're going to cut it. Alright. We're cutting it 4 times. Then we're going to cut it some more. Cut it in half. Cut it in half. That'd be good. I think that's a good size. Those little pieces. That's like the biggest one, so that'd be good. Just trying to move around, duck and move, and it keeps your eyes from being exposed to the stuff. That's what I'm telling myself. I don't know if that's real or not, but that's what I'm telling myself. Alright, so we cut that base, so now we got it on something solid. And now I'm just going to cut this up. I got a song stuck in my head. Come, Jesus, come. We've been waiting so long. Something, something. Come, Jesus, come. Come, Jesus, come. I just don't remember the lyrics. Y'all know half the time I don't remember lyrics. Alright, there we go. And y'all, I think that's everything. That is all my vegetables for the week. Let me get let me back away. Let me get those covered up and stuff, and I'll double check everything. Hang on. I haven't quite gotten to cover these up, but when I'm done with my knife, I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I rinse it off real good, and then I take one of these bleach wipes, and I wipe it off. And then I'll dry it off. But I don't use it again for a week, and by the time it dries, the bleach is gone. I mean, my goodness, that's what they use to clean all kinds of stuff. So, anyway, but I just feel like it's an extra way of getting my knife extra clean. So now, it can be put away for next time. And now we'll get I'll throw this away, and we'll get our little blankies for our onions, and then we'll be done. Alright, so I'm just gonna kind of tri-fold this, and then fold that over, and tuck that in there. And there's my yellow onions for the week, or white onions, whatever they are. I think they're the Vidalia ones. And then got this, and this, and this. And these red ones, they stand up a little bit. I'm gonna have to force it in there. Might have to work this lid a little harder. Oh no, did good. So there you go. Now I don't do anything with my tomatoes because these are big ones. So this week as I use them, I could take a knife and cut them in half, but I don't want to do it now because then it's just exposing the inside. So anyway, you guys, that was my veggies. I could pull it all out and show y'all everything, but that'd be a big old pile, and all you're gonna see is containers. So just know that we are done with our vegetable prep, and everything is cleaned off. So, yay Terri, good job. Okay, love you guys. See you later. Bye.